Okay.
Coverage you can count on. You're watching WTVM News Leader Now. Sponsored by Montblick and Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
The Columbus Cottonmouths hockey team at an Illinois hospital tonight following a bus rollover accident. We'll have team coverage on the accident coming up.
And the weather forecast for tonight, a bit stormy for some. We'll have the latest on what it looks like for later on this evening and over the weekend.
And tonight, foul play is suspected in a grisly discovery here along Lee County Road 159. I'm News Leader 9's Elizabeth White. We'll have a live report.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're following breaking news involving the Columbus Cottonmouths. We have learned the hockey team was involved in a rollover accident earlier this afternoon as they traveled near Peoria, Illinois for a weekend game. News Leader 9's Rosalind Giles is following this story. She joins us now in studio with the very latest. And Rosalind, what do we know about injuries at this point?
Well, Barbara, the Columbus Cottonmouths released a statement about an hour ago saying a charter bus carrying the team flipped on one side right off an exit ramp around 1:15 this afternoon. Take a look at these pictures. You can see the bus on its side near the I-74 and I-155 interchange. We also told all players have been accounted for and are being checked at a local hospital for injuries. Now, the good news is there seems to be no life-threatening injuries to the players, staff, or personnel. We are still waiting to hear what caused the accident. Now, the players were on their way to Peoria, Illinois for a game tomorrow and Saturday against the Peoria Rivermen. It is unclear if the games will be played this weekend right now. And reporter Jessica Cook from WHOI TV was on the scene of the crash earlier this afternoon. She continues our team coverage with more about the amount of people on that bus and the people taken to the hospital.
Hi everyone, Jessica Cook. We are out here in Morton currently. As you can see, there was a bus accident earlier this afternoon, happened just a little bit over an hour ago, and we have confirmed that it was a hockey team that was on the bus. There were 24 people on the bus. Most of them were taken to the hospital. Two were what he described as red injuries, and Trooper Ross Green with State Police says that this area, which is I-55 north to 74 west, will be closed for what may be up to 8 hours while they try to determine what happened. And when this crash happened, it was raining earlier, and Trooper Green said that the weather and possibly speed could have been a factor in this crash. We'll continue to bring you the latest on this story as it develops. Once again, we are in Morton with this developing story of a bus crash.
And right now we are continuing to get updates on this story. We're in touch with the crews there on the scene, constantly updating our website, WTVM.com, and our free mobile news app with these developments. Just click on the story under the local tab. Much more coming up throughout this newscast here today. We do know that there was rain in the area in Peoria at the time of this accident, and part of the same storm system that is headed our way, storm system that has already caused some damage in states like Mississippi. We are under a weather alert day today. Storm Team 9 Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid is in the Weather Center now watching all of this for us. Derek?
Barbara, thanks. Here we're keeping a close eye on things out there for you. Here's the current view of the satellite and radar. Things quiet around here for now, but here's what we're tracking to our west. This band of showers and thunderstorms. Some good news to report now. No severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings along this big line of storms. So that's fantastic news. In fact, the latest word from the Storm Prediction Center is that they may not even issue a watch out ahead of this band of storms. So again, a couple of pieces of good news when it comes to the weather out there tonight, although we still expect some heavier rain and some gusty winds as these storms make it through a little later on this evening. Now, the warm air that we're seeing out there today helping to fuel those showers and storms. Right now, 76 in Montgomery, Columbus at 74 and 75 down in the city of Dothan. I think the best chance for any severe weather will be well south and west of the coverage area, but we're still going to keep an eye on things for you tonight, and you can too on the WTVM weather app. Make sure you're using that interactive radar on the app to check out where the storms are, put on those warnings and all those other features as well available for you on the free app. Now we'll talk a little bit more about this and also a look ahead to the weekend severe weather threat coming up, Barbara.
All right, Derek, thank you. And with rain in the forecast, you can always get the latest weather alerts on the go. Just text WTVM followed by your county name with no spaces to 24/7 to receive severe weather text alerts when watches and warnings are issued for your county. Our free WTVM weather app is also free in your app store, a way to get the most up-to-date information. Now to a developing story tonight. Lee County investigators believe foul play has led to a gruesome discovery. A human leg inside a trash bag was found by a construction worker on the bank of a Lee County creek. The Cossie Creek flows under Lee Road 159. That's where we find News 9's Elizabeth White. And Elizabeth, what are investigators saying at this hour tonight?
Well, at this hour, what we know is this construction worker was doing work here with his crew along Lee County Road 159. And just behind me down this stretch of roadway is the Crossy Branch Creek. He was walking on that bridge, saw a bag, thought that he believed there was a leg inside of it, and then he called the Lee County Sheriff's Office. They came out and confirmed it was indeed a human appendage. So Lee County Sheriff Jay Jones believes this leg does belong to a male, and it hadn't been in this location for very long. They do suspect foul play, so this is a murder investigation. We are told after an extensive search of the area, they have not discovered any other human remains near the creek. Now, the leg has been sent to the Department of Forensic Sciences for testing.
We'd like to stress that it's critical at this point for us to do everything we can to hopefully identify the individual from whom this leg came. That is our number one priority at this point.
So Macon County Sheriff Andre Brunson was on scene today. He did confirm they have been looking for a missing 32-year-old man by the name of Kenneth McKeens, who was last seen just a few miles away from this location around January 6th. At this point, no positive identification has been made, and this investigation does remain open. And if you have any information that may help the Lee County Sheriff's Office discover who this leg belongs to, you're asked, of course, to please give them a call. Of course, we're going to have so much more on this story for you coming up tonight on News 9 at 6.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. And News 9 monitoring this story as we're posting the latest developments on our website, WTVM.com, and our free mobile app. All you have to do is click on the story you see here on the local tab. Well, more than 30 residents are facing eviction from the Ralston apartments on 12th Street in Columbus. News 9's Parker Branton met with residents who told him why they are at risk of being thrown out. Parker?
Yeah, Barbara, tenants were actually in municipal court regarding these evictions, and now they're telling me they were not given enough time to fix the problem.
Well, I got that infraction on the 13th, and 4 days later, the marshal was knocking on my door, serving me my eviction notice.
Ricky Talley says he was served an infraction that subjected him to termination of his lease before he had time to fix the bedbug problem.
I should have gotten an infraction telling me that I was going to be evicted.
He wasn't the only one. Out of 269 units, more than 30 of the residents were served these eviction notices in municipal court on Tuesday.
It makes you feel helpless.
Another resident says he has lived here for 5 years and it wasn't a problem until recently.
Check for bed bugs had stopped. And the next thing you know, we had an infestation of them.
Willie Davis says he is upset because the bugs are ruining his belongings.
And I have a reason to be angry because I just thrown away a brand new mattress and box spring because of bed bugs.
The eviction cases are ongoing, but for now, the residents in the Ralston are wanting answers.
I was calling HUD and the health department here and they was yo-yoing me, sending me back and forth.
I went to management and explained to them, look, man, I didn't bring these bugs in here, but they tell me they're not responsible for replacing anything that belongs to me. And I would like to know why.
And we reached out to the apartment management team, and they haven't got back with us regarding this case. We'll keep you updated. For now, we're live in Columbus. Parker Branton, WTVM News Leader 9. All
right, Parker, keep us posted. Thank you. Well, happening today, Phoenix City Mayor Eddie Lowe will be giving the annual State of the City address. The event starts at 6 this evening at the Central Activities Center on 14th Street. Lowe is expected to review the successes of last year and look ahead to the future. He'll focus on the status of current city projects and review the city's budget. Well, you may remember Austin Decker, the 10-year-old boy from East Alabama with a life-threatening lung disorder, whose wish was to meet with his favorite Auburn Tiger, Cam Newton. And thanks to his teacher's viral social media post and our story first reported in December, well, his dream came true. Happening now is a special fundraiser held in his honor, and our Arisha Jones is live at the event in Phoenix City to tell us how you can help out. Arisha.
Well, Barbara, today is considered Austin Day here at this Chick-fil-A in Phoenix City, and as you can see behind me, there are plenty of people here to support Austin and his family. Now, it's a Spirit Day to raise funds to help with hospital and medical expenses for Austin Deckard and his family. Austin has advanced pulmonary hypertension, which is a rare lung disorder. Now, he spent several weeks in a Atlanta hospital recovering from a risky surgery just right after Christmas. Now, when you come into Chick-fil-A today, all you have to do is say you're here for Austin, and 10% of your purchase will go to support his family. Chick-fil-A and his teacher wants this to be the biggest Spirit Day this location has ever seen.
I mean, it's amazing. It's been humbling. It's truly in God's hands, and I think, you know, he's had a part in all of this, and I know Austin's family feels the same way.
Obviously, hearing about all this stuff from Facebook and being partners in education with Lakewood Elementary, we decided that this would be a great opportunity to help their family and, you know, to help give back part, you know, to him and the condition that he has, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
Now, the whole staff here at Chick-fil-A is also wearing shirts for Austin Day, and they also can be bought for purchase inside the restaurant. Now, the owner tells me they've had more than 50 people working throughout today to help with this fundraiser, and you have until 9 p.m. tonight to come out and support this fundraiser. And if you don't want to purchase any food, you can just drop off a donation for Austin. And of course, you will also hear from Austin Deckard himself tonight at 6 o'clock. Reporting live here in Phoenix City, I'm Arisha Jones for News Leader 9.
All right, Arisha, yeah, story touched a lot of people. Thank you so much.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing? You doing all right? Let's say.
And here it is. This is the video which captured the hearts of so many. It shows Decker's wish to meet Cam Newton being granted as he prepared for surgery. The former Auburn quarterback visited the 10-year-old last month at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta and gave the boy an Under Armour bag. Now, you can watch this video by going to the local tab of WTVM.com. Well, Donald Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary facing some tough questions about how he handled loans during the housing crisis. More of the continued hearings for Trump's cabinet picks straight ahead. Plus, a country star making it big in the music world is taking his talent to the plains. We will talk live with Luke Pell about the performance in Auburn tonight.
And also tracking some storms for you here on the Radar Network. Back off to the west, we'll have the latest on any sort of severe weather risks for tonight, and we'll look ahead to the stormy weather expected over the weekend.
And we are continuing to follow breaking news from Morton, Illinois, near Peoria, where we're told a bus carrying the Columbus Cottonmouths has rolled over. Right now, team officials say no players have life-threatening injuries, but police say at least 2 others do have life-threatening injuries from that accident. The team was headed to a game set to be played on Saturday. We're updating the story on WTVM.com and our free mobile app.
From your Storm Team 9 Alert Center, WTVM Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid.
Well, stormy weather is on our mind for the next couple of days. We're going to have a few different rounds of stormy weather coming our way. First of all, tonight, and this is going to be really tonight into very early Friday morning. Pretty low threat for severe weather. I think the tornado threat stays pretty low. Might have some gustier winds with some of those storms, and I don't think flooding will be a major factor because these showers and storms will come by pretty quickly later on tonight into the early morning hours Friday. That core time frame between maybe about 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Now, as we get ready for the weekend, more storms possible Saturday morning and then again on Sunday. Now, the severe weather outlook for Saturday from the Storm Prediction Center looking like this. So a better chance overall, a better coverage overall of strong storms and again perhaps severe weather. That would likely be very early Saturday. Then finally in the long range, we do have some cooler weather to talk about in your 9-day forecast. Tonight, the radar network around here very quiet. Only a few showers popping up down here to our southwest, down here near Union Springs and Bullitt County. That is a pretty strong shower. It may develop into a storm in a bit with some lightning and thunder, but by far the strongest storms lined up still over central Alabama from Huntsville down to Birmingham, bending back down toward Demopolis. So this is a line of storms that we have our eye on. It's going to take its time in getting here. Most of these storms are moving off to the northeast, but the line as a whole is very slowly pushing off to the east, and we do expect that in here later on tonight. You can see how things look in motion with the showers and thunderstorms rumbling on through over the last 3 hours or so here in parts of Alabama. Now, back closer to home, the weather today has been warm, and that warm air is going to help to fuel some of the showers and storms later. 80 in Butler right now. It's 75 in Eufaula, Columbus 74. So yet again another day, the 9th day in a row at in the 70s or higher. Now, let's talk about the timing here with our futurecast. We'll take you through tonight with a few passing showers around here. The line of storms really doesn't start to get into East Alabama till about 9 or 10 o'clock. And then you see as we get through the rest of the overnight hours, maybe crossing the river by about 1 a.m. And then I think by 2 or 3, the line starts to move out. And it will be weakening a bit, too, as it comes through the valley. So that's a bit of good news. Maybe a slightly higher risk for some strong storms in East Alabama, but things do weaken as those storms continue to head across the river into our Georgia counties. Now, for tonight, rain and storms, of course, likely. Some of those will be on the strong side. Perhaps a few severe storms in the mix as well. Columbus low tonight, 61, 60 in Americus, and 61 down in Clayton. For tomorrow, I think a few showers are possible. We'll call for a chance of rain, but it will not be a washout. Once we get those storms out of here in the morning hours, most of the day tomorrow looks pretty good, and it will be another warm day for us with some sun and clouds, highs back in the mid and upper 70s. Over the next 9 days, we're going to put the alert days up there Saturday and Sunday for that risk of strong to severe storms. Next week, some slightly cooler weather to talk about, Barbara.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed and just hope for nothing too severe.
Absolutely. And again, have the app handy, have the weather alerts handy or text alerts handy as well.
You will, of course, keep us informed.
Yep.
All right, Derek, thank you so much. Well, a day before President-elect Donald Trump is set to take office, more of his cabinet picks are being grilled on Capitol Hill. Rick Perry, the pick for Energy Secretary, and Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary pick, both faced tough questions during confirmation hearings today. During Mnuchin's hearing, he defended his running at One West and as a partner of Goldman Sachs, which many say participated in risky loans, hurting many Americans during the housing crisis.
Let me be clear. My group had nothing to do with the creation of the risky loans in the IndyMac loan portfolios. When we bought the bank, we assumed these bad loans, which had been originated by previous management.
Mnuchin told senators his bank helped borrowers by extending more than 100,000 loan modifications so they could keep their homes. Well, President-elect Trump has officially arrived in Washington, D.C. ahead of the inauguration tomorrow. When he does take office, he will do so without many of his cabinet appointees, as most haven't been confirmed yet. The incoming White House press secretary says Trump has asked roughly 50 senior Obama administration appointees to remain in their posts after his inauguration. This is what Sean Spicer said in his first ever briefing today. Well, Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence took part in a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery this afternoon. All of this taking place as Trump prepares for tomorrow. He's also expected to speak at the Lincoln Memorial, which we will bring to you live when it happens. This is a live scene from where the event will take place. That's coming up. We're expecting that to happen around 5:30 today. And we will be right back. it for us. Do you play guitar too?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would have liked.
I'll put in something about the cotton mounts.
Okay.
And that will be it.
Okay.
Something like that. Tuck it back a little bit.
Is it from The Bachelorette?
Check, check, check. 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3.
Well, he is best known for capturing hearts across America on the most recent season of ABC's hit television series, The Bachelorette. Country singer Luke Pell joins us now to talk about an upcoming performance tonight in Auburn. Hey, Luke, welcome. Good to see you.
So glad to be here.
Before we talk about your performance tonight, let's talk about how was it on The Bachelorette? How was that experience? Did you enjoy it?
It was a roller coaster of emotion, as you can imagine, throughout the whole thing. But I had such a blast, met such great people, traveled to some places I've never would have gone otherwise, and I'm continuing to meet more people, and so it's really cool. I come to a place like Columbus, Georgia, and there's people that know my story and know a lot about my personal life, and some people might think that'd be, awkward or whatever, but I love it. It gives us a conversation to talk about and just stories to tell. So.
And I know a lot of people thought that you were going to actually be the Bachelor this season, and we're pulling for that. Would you ever consider doing that or do it again? Or
yeah, you know what? I would kind of make that decision if it did come up in the future. I would make it, when I had to. But if it was right now, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy to be back, doing what I was doing before the show, and that's being a songwriter in Nashville and being an artist, and we go out and play shows and see new cities, meet new people, and I love what I'm doing. So.
Well, let's talk about what you're doing, because you're in town and you're going to be performing tonight in Auburn. For folks who may not be familiar with your music, tell us about your influences and what kind of music you like and you play.
Yeah, so being a kid growing up in Texas, I grew up in the 90s primarily, and so 90s country artists from Clint Black and Garth Brooks really have a lot of influence in what I do today. But then at the same time, the next songs in my playlist on my iPod were hip hop songs and pop songs too. So there's just this mix, and this whole millennial generation that I'm in, the mix of what we put country music is very broad. So yeah.
And I know you've worked with some real big stars in country music. Talk about that a little bit and how that influenced you.
Yeah, living in Nashville and being a songwriter there, it's really afforded me an opportunity to work with a lot of great people that are kind of paving the way in front of me. Cole Swindell's a buddy of mine there, and he's had a lot of great success in the last few years, and we write together. And Chris Lane's another guy who's just recently had a lot of success and had some number ones just this past year. Had his first number one, and he's a great buddy of mine, and I get to talk to them about what made it work for them. And so me being in the military for several years, I was a little bit late to the game coming back to Nashville, and but I transitioned out of the military and then finally made my way back to town. So I love Nashville. I love that community.
It's
there.
exciting. Real quick, let's tell people where you got to be tonight. There's the information in Auburn. There you go.
Yeah, Bourbon Street Bar tonight. Doors open at 9 o'clock. So we're looking forward. First time I've played at Auburn, so we're looking forward to meeting everybody down there.
I'm sure you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
So nice to meet you, Luke, and good luck with your career and everything. I'm sure we'll see you again.
Thanks, Barbara.
All right, bye-bye. And we will take a quick break, but before we go, we want to tell you that we continue to follow that breaking news for you out of near Peoria, Illinois. We'll have the very latest on this bus crash involving the Columbus Cottonmouths. We do know they're involved in the rollover crash. Right now, we're told no players have life-threatening injuries. They are being treated, though. The very latest for you coming up on the news at 5:30.